Hello students. So in the last class we started and we dealt with the perception. Okay, we started with the topic of perception and we saw about the determinants of perception. Okay, so now we shall move on to the next topic, principles of grouping and organization. So principles of grouping and organization. In a complex visual world, the mind develops strategies for coping with confusion. It tries to find the simplest solution to a problem. One method that it adopts is to form groups of items that have certain characteristics in common. The way these groups are formed and the effect they have on perception depends on a variety of factors. It is this grouping that contributes to the unity in a design. Okay. So the operation of the most basic perceptual processes depends on the series of principles. These describe how we organize bits and pieces of information into a meaningful wholes. These are known as Gestall's law of organization. A group of German psychologists in the early 1900s who studied patterns also discovered a number of important principles that are logically sound for visual stimuli. Okay, so basically you find a simplest way to understand a problem, okay, to perceive a situation. Okay, so you try to understand anything in a simplest way. Okay, so the first principle of grouping and organization is proximity. Okay, so what is proximity? It is the degree of distance between two objects. Those elements that are close together have a tendency to be grouped together. In the figure given below, we tend to see the dots as pairs rather than as a row of single dots. Objects are favored according to the nearness of their position. The close ones form groups by visually uniting. Okay, so when two things are placed together, okay, for example, pen and paper, okay, they both belong to one particular group. Okay, so here you can see two dots. Okay, so these two dots are grouped together and these two are grouped together. Rather than we seeing all these things as a single dotted line, we see them as a pair of dots. Okay, so that is proximity. When two things are together, there is a meaning for it. Okay, so the next one is similarity. It is a degree of sameness to one another. Objects and figures that are similar in terms of color, shape and form tend to group together to form a pattern. Thus anything we perceive is grouped or ordered in the mind based upon their likeness towards one another. Okay, so basically here I think we have seen many things which are of same sizes. Okay, so yes, many fruits are round and balls are round. Okay, and yes, you will have different shape and color for leaves. Okay, all these have definite forms and shape, size. Okay, so but they will be grouped in one or the other form. Okay, for example, if the color is red, okay, all the things which are in red color will be in one group. Okay, and if they're all of circle or round shape, that particular thing will be of one group. So here you can see all the zeros are grouped together, all x are grouped together, so they are all similar of shape, size and color. Okay, so the next one is continuity. This refers to a grouping that results in a continuation of direction. Okay, something which continues, something which is continuity. Okay, so here you have three examples I have given here. Okay, so the figure on the left side is seen as a vertical horizontal line and not as an extension of the alphabet L. Okay, so yes, this is seen as vertical, horizontal lines. Okay, and no one will think that it is just an extension of alphabet L. Okay, and there is continuity, there is extension. Okay, and these dots, and there is always continuity here. Okay, that is continuity. Okay, so closure, this refers to objects being grouped into recognizable form of shapes. We generally have a tendency to ignore breaks in the figures and concentrate on the overall form. So yes, closure. So this triangle has a gap here. Okay, but we will make it a, we will fill it and we will tell this is a triangle. And even here there is a gap, but we will make it full and we will tell it is E. And here there is gap, but we will fill it and tell it is T. Okay, closure. So we will try to close the gaps and tell it in a full form. Okay. So last one, figure and ground. This is a fundamental principle of perception which allows for reading imagery. There is a tendency to group stimulus together into a unified form called a figure and distinguish the figure from the other stimulus present, generally referred to as a ground. Okay. Okay, so this is the example given. Okay, we have already seen this example. First, on the figure, we will see that it is a vase on a black cardboard. Okay, white vase on a black cardboard. Okay, on the ground we see there are two shadows. Okay, two shadows of human being on a white cardboard. Okay, so this is figure and ground, where you perceive, different people, different individual perceive things in a different way. Okay. Okay, so the next topic and then the last topic in this chapter is errors in perception. Okay, so yes, the first error in perception is illusion. Okay, so basically illusion is misinterpretation of a stimulus results in illusion. Okay, they will misinterpret things. Okay, illusion is misinterpretation of things, stimulus. Okay, and for example, a person who is walking all alone in twilight may perceive a piece of rope lying near a bush as a snake. Okay, so this is how you misinterpret. Since it is already dark and you are alone, if there is a piece of rope in next to you near the bush, you assume it as a snake because you are already scared and you misinterpret rope as snake. Okay, so horizontal vertical illusion. Okay, so the vertical line appears longer than horizontal line, though both lines are equal. Okay, so yes, this line is seen as bigger and 1 minute. Okay, so one line is assumed to be bigger than the other because one is like this and one is vertical and horizontal. Okay, so yes, we assume one is bigger even though if both the lines are of the same length. Okay, so Muller-Lyer illusion, the line A is seen to be shorter than line B though both the lines are of the same length. It may be due to the perception of the lines enclosed by feather and arrowheads. Okay, so featherheads, see these both lines are equal. Okay, they are equal length, but since it is featherhead, since it is feather-headed, it looks longer, and since it is arrow-headed, it looks shorter. Okay, so then 5 phenomena. Stationary objects situated in different locations appear to move if they flash at quick intervals. Example, flip books. Okay, so this is the example of 5 phenomena where if I think you all know in small age you have used flip books. Okay, so when you keep moving from when you keep moving the page like this, you find out as if it is moving. Okay, so that is 5 phenomena. Okay, so hallucinations is where there is a perception of visual, gustatory, tactile, auditory or olfactory experiences without any external stimulus. For example, a person may hear his name called by a voice that no one else seems to hear. Okay, so hallucination is where when there is no external stimulus, you feel like it is there. Okay, sometimes yes, everyone feels that someone is calling you. Okay, but when you turn around and see back, there'll be no one. Okay, and some people will hear noises that no one can hear. Okay, they feel like I am hearing some noise. Okay, and some people, for to be in an extent, they see peoples. Okay, but actually there won't be any person. Okay, these are all hallucinations. Okay, so we shall stop here. Actually, we are done with the chapter. Okay.